So have you ever had a thing or like someone or something or anything that you were trying to control and hold on to really, really tight in your life? And whether you finally let go of it or through a lot of resistance, it goes away. And then you realize after it's gone that you were actually holding on to nothing. I have, and it happens to me all the time. And I have a recent story to share with you guys about how I was holding on to something and finally releasing it and letting it go allowed me to receive more. So the first thing we're going to talk about, first of all, is what is resistance? Resistance is the emotional and mental pushback that we experience when things don't go as planned or like things that we don't want to let go of, like for example, unhealthy relationships, resisting a career change, or just fear of any type of change or letting go of something or someone. So we're going to be learning that letting go of resistance and accepting what's outside of our control and trusting that things are happening for us, not to us. And ultimately, the benefit is allowing more peace, clarity, and alignment with the flow of life. So I'm going to share with you guys a personal story that I recently experienced on how I needed to remind myself to release so that I can receive more. And that is, I recently came out of a relationship. Well, not recently. So my last relationship that I came out of, it's not like 6, almost 7 months. We lived together in Georgia. And then we had to move back. We lived together here. We moved to Georgia together. And then during the breakup, we moved back, but separately. During our relationship of 3 years, he ended up gifting me some gifts. So anyways, when the breakup started to happen, he started to ask for these things back. And I was like, everything that I gave you, all the gifts that I gave you were out of love for you. I just gave you these gifts and it wasn't because I was trying to manipulate or control anything out of you. I just gifted them to you out of love. And also, I put a lot of money into this house and I put a lot into this relationship, even though you may not see the value in it, but I also put a lot into this relationship. And right now, it seems like you're trying to control the situation. Anyways, so apparently during our move, I took most of the things that I took all of my things. But when he had asked me for specific things back, and I was like, these are gifts that you gifted me. So they're mine. I'm not going to give them back. I didn't want to give them back at that time. Everything was already happening. Everything was a lot of resistance. So it's more and more things were happening. And I just wasn't in the receptive mode at that time. So I didn't want to. I was just no, these are gifts you gave me. You can't ask for gifts back. Who does that? I was I'm not asking you for the gifts that I gave you back. It's a relationship, a breakup from a relationship is never going to be comfortable. We're just going to have to accept it for what it was and move forward, knowing that there's more of where that came from and that this just wasn't a match, and that's okay. So that was my whole perception. Fast forward to coming here, and some of my things are still with him because he moved a lot of my stuff out here, and then some of my stuff was left. But I do specifically remember taking all of my jewelry and all of my things. But before I left, he made sure to go into my jewelry box and take my mom's necklace that was gifted to me. So my mom passed away 3 years ago. She was trying to get this family heirloom, this piece of specific antique necklace that was her mom's. And when her father passed away, they were splitting all of the things, the assets or whatever, family heirloom things. And there was a specific necklace that she really wanted, and she was supposed to inherit it, and it didn't go to her. And I remember she really was upset over it. When they gave her the stuff, she was this isn't the thing that I asked for. There's a specific necklace that I wanted and I still didn't get it. So she actually was I'm willing to pay for my inheritance that I deserve. Anyway, so she paid for it to get the necklace, and she never received the necklace. It was her dying wish to receive the necklace. She wanted to have it so that she can turn it into 2 necklaces for me and my sister. Fast forward to the year after she passed away, we went to Canada for the Persian New Year to be with my uncle and my aunt and my cousin, and my uncle had got that necklace and turned it into 2 necklaces for me and my sister. And my ex was there with us at that time, so he knew the value of that necklace. So before I moved, he went into my things and took that specific necklace to use it as collateral. So, and I didn't know, I thought I had everything. And when I was here and I was done, he was asking me are you done? So you want me out of your life? Whatever. He was just kind of dragging it on and not allowing me to get the rest of my things. And I was you know what? It's fine. If you don't want to give me my things back, just throw it away, do whatever you will with it. He was are you sure? Because I think this has some value. And he sent me a picture of that necklace. And that is when I felt very uncomfortable. I was oh my gosh, I can't believe he took this necklace and I can't believe he's doing this. And I was feeling a lot of resistance. I didn't want to give the gifts back. Now, the gifts that he gave me were this. He gave me a camera, a MacBook, they were gifted to me, and a Louis, like 2 Louis bags that he was asking for. And the Louis bags were like pre-owned, which is fine. It doesn't even matter. I still liked them. Like, I don't care about that part. But anyways, he was like, I'm not going to give you these things back until you give me back these gifts. My things. He was saying that they're my things. And I was just like, I didn't want to give them back because I wanted to start, like, I used those things for my business, the camera and the MacBook. And I wanted to start my own boudoir business, and I needed those things. So I think that during that time, I felt like, no, if I let these things go, I had this limited belief that I won't be able to be successful, or how can this person, I was really victimizing myself, and like, how can this person take something from a single woman who's starting her life over again, who's actually starting it with less than what I had before you entering my life, right? So these perceptions that I had, I remember like telling myself that I didn't want to, this person just keeps taking from me and I have nothing else left to give. And these are like the things that I was holding on to. And I was just like, whatever. I like thought about it. I sat down and I was like, what? I felt uncomfortable through the whole process. There was a lot of resistance. Someone's trying to take something from me, and I really had to sit with myself and realize that, like, what am I holding on to? I was fine before I had those things. They're just things. They weren't even gifts. Like, gifts are something you give to somebody out of love, not because you try to control or manipulate or yield a certain type of behavior or something from them. So I sat down and I was like, the resistance that I'm feeling is because somebody else is still trying to control and manipulate me. That doesn't feel good to me. Also, I do believe that anything that's mine is gonna be mine, and it cannot be taken away from me. So me trying to hold on to these things anyways, even if they were gifted, even like I haven't done anything, it's not like I did anything deceitful to him. We were just out of alignment, and we no longer were thriving in a relationship, and I felt like it's best for us to not be together. But obviously they're having a lot of resistance in this season of their life, so they're thinking that maybe by doing this, it'll, I don't know, make them feel comfortable. I was like, that's fine. I'm gonna give the things back. I'm just gonna give them back and give me my mom's necklace, and we'll go about our ways. Whenever you're experiencing this level of resistance and you're going through specific challenges and you start to victimize yourself, or you're like, why is God testing me? Or why am I always dealing with situations like this? You have to remember that life and God is not pushing you or testing you. It's guiding you. And it's guiding you towards growth, towards lessons, or it's just redirection. So the best thing to do is you want to reframe these questions that pop up for you, like, why me? Or why is it happening to me? Or why do I always have to have difficult challenges? Maybe reframe it and ask yourself, what is this teaching me? I had to like stop and think, okay, what is this actually teaching me? And the whole experience was teaching me that I do not like when somebody feels like that they can do something in the name of love or something in the name of kindness, but really their intentions were malicious and to try to control. So it's teaching me that I don't like when people do things as a kind gesture. It's disguised by a kind gesture, but really they're doing it out of manipulation and control. The next question is, how can I benefit from this in the long run? I think for me, benefiting from this in the long run is recognizing that the more resistance that I release and accept that what's for me, I don't even need to grasp onto really hard. Like, it just will be, and I can relax into it. Reminding me the benefit of nobody being able to have any type of control or manipulation over me. I can't be controlled or manipulated with things because I am my own person. My free will is my birthright. Those are the questions that I kind of shifted it to. I was like, you know what? I don't want, this isn't a gift. You don't call a tool for manipulation a gift. That's not what that is. Gifts are given out of love, and they're given freely, and they're yours, and no one's gonna come and ask for them back. Or this is teaching me that when someone feels like they have some sort of power over you, to eliminate that power. Oh, you think you can have power over me with this thing? Here you go. It's all yours, and you do not get to control me or tell me how I should lead and live my life or try to manipulate things out of me. That's not how it works, and that's not how it should be, and I don't allow that into my life. The benefit is that you become unmanipulatable. The more you like let go of resistance, you're like, okay, that's fine. Because the more you push up against it, there's that push-pull in the resistance, you know? And then you wanna do a gratitude practice. So what I did was I started to focus on what's working and the hidden blessings and the challenges. So I realized that what's working for me is I feel so grateful to now be in my own space and in my own environment. I get to be in my own peace. I don't need to be faced with these challenges on a daily basis, right? I no longer have to push up against someone's contrasting point of view of what they think I should be doing or how they think I should be or the ways that I can benefit them only. And even if it's at the expense of my own discomfort, it was challenging, but I'm so proud and happy to know that even through this whole challenging and uncomfortable experience, I have arrived in a place of solitude and peace. Even though it still starts to pop up in my life because they're still grasping onto something, I'm grateful that that something, I can be like, fine, it's just a material thing and you can have it back, and I can be present with myself and continue the work that I'm doing. Not only that, like, even though it was challenging, I just had to really remind myself that these things are just things. Not only was it not a gift, it's something that you tried to use to manipulate me, so I'm gonna give them back to you. And along with them goes the control, the manipulation, the malicious intentions. I am not allowing that in my life anymore anyway. So if you thought these gifts were a gift to me and now you're using those very gifts that you did out of kindness and love, and I did appreciate them, the way you're behaving afterwards is the truth of who you were all along. And now that the mask has fallen off, this is what it is. So please take them back, because I don't want to have this negative energy. I don't want to hold on to this energy of lack consciousness in my life anyways. So you're going to take this gift back along with the control, the manipulation, and the malicious intention as well. So that is also going to be released from my life. And when I release it, it's going to allow more blessings to flow into my life, because I know things aren't happening to me, they're always happening for me. This is just a redirection. I never lack, I just transition. And when I remind myself these things, those thoughts feel better to me because they're in alignment with me and where I am. And the energy that I'm putting out, I can relax into it. And the more you believe that, the more it will be truth for you. Let's get into strategies to let go of resistance. The first thing you want to do is awareness and acceptance. We're gonna go back to journaling. I would write down what you're resisting and why. I had to understand, like, what am I resisting and why? For me, I had to realize the fear of being, a single mom and restarting my life and believing that I need these tools to be able to succeed and provide for my girls was just a flawed premise that I'm carrying. And I can still be able to provide for my girls and succeed regardless of these things that get taken away from me, because I'm very innovative and solution focused, and I can find different outlets to be able to come up with different innovative solutions. And then acknowledge your feelings without judgment. I was like, it's okay that I'm feeling this way. I'm just a person. I'm going through a lot of changes at a very rapid pace. Of course, it's going to be scary, and it's okay that I'm holding on to these things. I'm just trying to grasp anything that feels familiar and it feels like comfort for me. Or if it's not even a thing, maybe realizing that fear of being in a relationship stems, like, let's say you're someone who is afraid of losing a relationship. Is fear of losing the relationship stems from a fear of being alone. Realizing what we're resisting and why, to kind of bring it to the forefront and separate ourselves from it and recognize it as, oh, that is a silly little thought that I can reframe the way that I view it. The second thing that I want you to do is I want you to surrender to the present moment and practice mindfulness. I was so in a state of activated kind of fight or flight in a manic mode that I had to slow down and meditate and quiet my mind a bit. I highly encourage you to practice grounding techniques like deep breath. I'm telling you, focusing on your breath is going to help bring you back into the present moment and observing your surroundings. I think focusing on my breath and observing my space and reminding myself I am in a new environment. This environment can be as peaceful as I want it to be or as chaotic as I want it to be, because the state of my mind is the state of my life. So mentally thinking of all of this is very chaotic. Maybe I should just get off that topic because I couldn't get myself to a comfortable feeling space. And I was like, let me get off the topic, detach myself, and get in the moment of where I'm at now. Let me feel myself in my body in the here and now, and ask for guidance and know that I'm always being guided to a solution. So tapping into my intuition and my body, trying to have full autonomy over myself and reminding myself that I don't lack and that I just transition. I'm always being guided. These things, along with focusing on my breath and creating a peaceful environment for myself, was very reassuring for me. Then you want to trust the bigger picture. So then I started to visualize. Like, what is the big deal? Right now, I've been totally fine. And up until this point, I've still been handling other things and I haven't even really used the computer and the camera yet. When that time comes, I trust that the universe will provide for me. I think the best thing you want to do is like imagine your life like a flowing river and trust that the current is taking you where you need to go. Like an example, like a setback, like a breakup, is being the push that was needed to discover independence and self-love instead of, oh, another breakup, you know? Like, don't view it like that. View it as, I'm actually being pushed to discover more independence and more love for myself and the standard of love for myself, so that moving forward, if anybody else's standard isn't up to speed with mine or higher, I will then be able to recognize it because I love and value myself. I want to tell yourself that I trust the process of life. Everything unfolds in divine timing. Whenever you feel like you're having a hard time accepting things like letting go or obsessing over a promotion, maybe instead of focusing on the promotion, start focusing on the delivery of your best work. Or just delivering your best work. Instead of focusing on a promotion, I'm just gonna focus on delivering the best work. For me, it was letting go of needing those tools to create success and trusting that the universe will provide for me. And you wanna know something amazing? That's exactly what happened. When I truly, and I'm not talking about letting go and being like, okay, whatever, I have to let it go. I truly came to a space of peace with it. And I was like, no problem. Please, as a matter of fact, I want you to take them. And he was like thinking that I'm going to destroy them. He was like, oh, I better get it in good condition. I want to be able to turn it on. And I was like, that's fine. I have no interest in damaging these things. I'm not upset with the things. I love and respect and value these things. Why would I destroy them? Like, I not only returned them, I took very great care of them. I wiped them down. I wiped my computer. I put the bags into its original duster bag and made sure it has its tag of authentication. I gave it back and I was happy to give them back. I was like, you know what, this served me for the time that it did, but it's not meant to be in my life forever. And there's more where that came from. And I felt so at peace with returning it and knowing that that's not a problem. This is not what I was in a relationship for. Wasn't in a relationship with you for the things. I was in a relationship because I value partnership and I value connectedness. So if that's what it was for you, that's fine. Take your things. And I wish you well. When I truly, truly accepted it and I was done with the whole situation, I truly felt light. I felt so refreshed. I was like, wow, you know what? I never have to worry about someone trying to throw anything in my face or come back and be like, oh, you're this because of me. It's like, no, I'm gonna use whatever I have. I am using my phone right now. And not only that, I remember telling my girlfriend tells me, hey girl, I have a camera. Excuse my dog right now, he's walking. Biggie, I told you to be quiet. I remember my girlfriend's like, hey, so she got a new camera. And she's like, do you want this camera? And guess what? She was like, you can have this. I was like, yeah, I would definitely love to. Like, how much? And she was like, oh gosh, you can just have it. I got a new one. And I'm like, are you kidding me? She's like, yeah, you're gonna be so happy about it too. My ex gave me this camera and now I got a new one. So somebody else's ex that gave them a camera, didn't ask for them back, became my camera. My girlfriend's like, yeah, I have this camera for you. And I'm like, this is so crazy. So the universe always provides. If you believe that you do not lack and you just transition, that will be truth for you. And I'm really excited. I actually haven't got the camera yet. I'm gonna meet up with my girlfriend this weekend. So I'm gonna remind her to bring the camera. So yay, I get a camera and I'm so grateful for it. And it's coming from my girlfriend and she's like, it's from my ex anyways, you don't even need to pay me. And I'm like, that is so crazy. And this is my friend, I told her the whole story and she was like, yeah, she's like, it was just meant for you to receive it in a time that you needed it. So it's so awesome how the more you let go and remind yourself what's not for you won't be for you no matter how hard you try to grasp onto it. And don't even hold on to it because there's so much more for you. There's so much more. The more you release, the more you will allow yourself to receive and you will just transition. I want to leave you with this question. I want you to do a check-in with yourself and ask yourself, what areas of your life are you resisting currently? And I want to remind you that you're not here to force life into place. That's not what you're here to do. You're here to grow and flow with it. I challenge you to surrender to something and tell the universe that you trust the process. Tell the universe to show you another way, and mean it when you do. Just be like, you know what? Even if it's a small thing that you think you can let go of resistance about, be like, you know what, universe, that's fine. Show me a different path. Guide me. Use me as a vessel. So surrender to something in your life. I'm sorry for that noise. My neighbor's leaving and he just turned his truck on, so it's making that sound. I'm really trying to be quiet in this house, but everything is so loud. I challenge you to surrender to something, to tell the universe that you trust the process and to show you another way. And when you do it, I want you to mean it. Try to relax into it and just whatever you're feeling, any type of resistance towards, surrender to it and say, universe, I am gonna release so that I can receive in whatever way you find suit for me. I also wanna say thank you so much for tuning in and watching. I appreciate you. I hope that you can see that I'm really trying to grow with every video and kind of up-level the quality that I provide. If you have any questions, don't forget to send it to feminineframework@gmail.com. I would love to touch base on any topics or personal situations you would like for us to discuss. If you enjoy this podcast and find value in it, feel free to share it with any of your friends that you think will also receive value. If you push that bell, notifications will also be given to you every time I post a new video, every Tuesday and Thursday. In the next episode, we're going to be talking about how to attract what you deserve and ultimately how the energy that you're bringing is manifesting in your life and how to elevate your energy so that you can become more of a match to what it is that you want to manifest in your life. I'm excited about this episode, so make sure you check that one out. And I hope you guys are having an amazing week. Until next time, I'll talk to you babes later. Mwah!